According to the National Electrical Code, there must be at least 5 feet of clearance in front of gas meters and regulators. This requirement ensures adequate space for servicing and maintenance of the gas equipment. It also helps to prevent the accumulation of flammable gases, which could pose a safety hazard. If an electrical panel is installed below the gas meter and within this 5-foot clearance zone, it must be relocated to a location that meets the required clearance. This relocation involves moving all the circuitry associated with the panel. The relocation of the electrical panel should be performed by a licensed electrician who is familiar with the NEC and local building codes. Ignoring the 5-foot clearance rule can lead to several problems. Firstly, it creates a safety hazard. Gas meters and regulators sometimes require maintenance or repairs. If an electrical panel is too close, it can obstruct access, making it difficult for technicians to work safely and efficiently. Secondly, a lack of clearance increases the risk of accidental damage. If someone is working on the electrical panel and accidentally bumps or damages the gas meter, it could result in a gas leak or explosion. Thirdly, it violates the National Electrical Code. Code violations can lead to fines, penalties, and legal liabilities. It can also jeopardize insurance coverage in the event of an incident. The NEC is a comprehensive set of standards that governs the safe installation and maintenance of electrical systems. It is developed and updated every 3 years by the National Fire Protection Association. The NEC covers a wide range of topics, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. It is adopted by most states and local jurisdictions in the United States. The specific section of the NEC that addresses clearance requirements for gas meters is typically found in Article 110.26, spaces about electrical equipment. This article specifies the minimum working space required around electrical equipment, including pedal boards, switchboards, and motor control centers. The working space must be clear and unobstructed, and it must extend at least 30 inches in front of the equipment. In addition to the working space requirements, the NEC also specifies minimum headroom clearances for electrical equipment. The headroom clearance must be at least 6 feet 6 inches, or the height of the equipment, whichever is greater. These clearance requirements are designed to ensure that electricians have enough space to safely work on electrical equipment. When relocating an electrical panel, there are several factors to consider. Firstly, the new location must meet all applicable NEC and local building code requirements. This includes clearance requirements, working space requirements, and headroom clearance requirements. Secondly, the new location must be accessible and convenient for servicing and maintenance. The panel should be located in a well-lit area with adequate ventilation. Thirdly, the relocation should be performed by a licensed electrician who is familiar with the NEC and local building codes. The electrician will need to disconnect the existing wiring, relocate the panel, and reconnect the wiring in the new location. The electrician will also need to ensure that the panel is properly grounded and bonded. Grounding and bonding are essential safety measures that help to prevent electric shock. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to trip the circuit breaker or fuse and to energize the circuit. Bonding connects all of the metal parts of the electrical system together, which helps to equalize the voltage and prevent electric shock. When relocating an electrical panel, it is important to use the correct wiring methods and materials. The wiring must be sized appropriately for the load, and it must be protected from physical damage. The wiring must also be installed in accordance with the NEC. There are several different wiring methods that can be used, including conduit, cable, and raceway. Conduit is a rigid metal or plastic tube that is used to protect wiring. Cable is a flexible assembly of conductors that is used to connect electrical equipment. Raceway is a metal or plastic channel that is used to support and protect wiring. The choice of wiring method will depend on the specific application and the requirements of the NEC. When relocating an electrical panel, it is also important to use the correct overcurrent protection. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to protect electrical circuits from overload and short-circuit conditions. The overcurrent protection device must be sized appropriately for the circuit, and it must be installed in accordance with the NEC. There are several different types of overcurrent protection devices, including circuit breakers, fuses, and ground fault circuit interrupters. A circuit breaker is a mechanical device that automatically interrupts the flow of current in a circuit when an overload or short circuit occurs. A fuse is a one-time overcurrent protection device that melts and breaks the circuit when an overload or short circuit occurs. A ground fault circuit interrupter is a device that protects people from electric shock by detecting ground faults and interrupting the flow of current. In addition to the NEC, there may also be local building codes that apply to the relocation of an electrical panel. Local building codes are adopted by cities, counties, and other local jurisdictions. These codes may have additional requirements that are not found in the NEC. It is important to check with the local building department to determine if there are any local building codes that apply to the relocation of an electrical panel. Relocating an electrical panel is a complex task that should only be performed by a licensed electrician. An electrician has the knowledge and experience to safely and properly relocate the panel in accordance with the NEC and local building codes. Attempting to relocate an electrical panel without the proper knowledge and experience can be dangerous and can result in serious injury or death. In summary, the NEC requires a 5-foot clearance in front of gas meters for servicing. If an electrical panel is within this zone, it must be relocated to a location that meets the required clearance. The relocation of the electrical panel should be performed by a licensed electrician who is familiar with the NEC and local building codes. Ignoring the 5-foot clearance rule can lead to safety hazards, code violations, and legal liabilities. Therefore, it is essential to comply with the NEC and local building codes when installing or relocating electrical equipment near gas meters. Here is a more detailed breakdown of some key aspects. Firstly, let's discuss the importance of understanding the NEC. The National Electrical Code is not just a set of rules, but a comprehensive guide to ensuring electrical safety. It's developed by experts who consider various factors, including the physics of electricity, the properties of materials, and the potential hazards associated with electrical systems. By adhering to the NEC, you're minimizing the risk of electrical shocks, fires, and other dangerous incidents. Secondly, consider the role of a licensed electrician. These professionals undergo extensive training and rigorous testing to demonstrate their knowledge and skills in electrical work. They are familiar with the NEC, local building codes, and best practices for ensuring electrical safety. When you hire a licensed electrician, you're entrusting the work to someone who is qualified to handle the complexities of electrical systems. Thirdly, let's examine the potential consequences of code violations. Ignoring the NEC can lead to a range of problems, from fines and penalties to legal liabilities. In some cases, code violations can even jeopardize insurance coverage. Moreover, code violations can create safety hazards that put people at risk. Fourthly, think about the importance of proper grounding and bonding. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to trip the circuit breaker or fuse and de-energize the circuit. Bonding connects all of the metal parts of the electrical system together, which helps to equalize the voltage and prevent electric shock. These safety measures are essential for protecting people from electrical hazards. Fifthly, let's discuss the different wiring methods and materials that can be used when relocating an electrical panel. Conduit provides excellent protection for wiring, but it can be more difficult to install than cable. Cable is more flexible and easier to install, but it may not provide as much protection as conduit. Raceway offers a good balance of protection and flexibility. The choice of wiring method will depend on the specific application and the requirements of the NEC. Sixthly, consider the role of overcurrent protection devices. Circuit breakers and fuses are designed to protect electrical circuits from overload and short circuit conditions. Ground fault circuit interrupters protect people from electric shock by detecting ground faults and interrupting the flow of current. These devices are essential for preventing electrical fires and protecting people from electrical hazards. Seventhly, let's examine the importance of checking local building codes. Local building codes may have additional requirements that are not found in the NEC. It's important to check with the local building department to determine if there are any local building codes that apply to the relocation of an electrical panel. Eighthly, think about the importance of accessibility and convenience. The new location of the electrical panel should be accessible and convenient for servicing and maintenance. The panel should be located in a well-lit area with adequate ventilation. This will make it easier for electricians to perform routine maintenance and repairs. Ninthly, consider the potential for future expansion. When relocating an electrical panel, it's important to consider the potential for future expansion. The new location should have enough space to accommodate additional circuits and equipment. This will help to avoid the need for another relocation in the future. Tenthly, let's discuss the importance of documentation. It's important to document the relocation of the electrical panel, including the new location, the wiring methods used, and the overcurrent protection devices installed. This documentation will be helpful for future maintenance and repairs. And finally, consider the importance of ongoing maintenance. Electrical systems require regular maintenance to ensure that they are operating safely and efficiently. This includes inspecting the wiring, testing the overcurrent protection devices, and cleaning the electrical panel. Regular maintenance can help to prevent electrical problems and extend the life of the electrical system. Remember, the 5-foot clearance rule is not just a suggestion, it's a requirement that is designed to protect people and property from harm. By understanding the NEC, hiring a licensed electrician, and following best practices for electrical safety, you can ensure that your electrical system is safe and reliable. Let's delve deeper into some specific scenarios and considerations. Suppose the gas meter is located in a confined space, such as a small utility room. In this case, it may be difficult to achieve the required 5-foot clearance. One option would be to relocate the gas meter to a different location that allows for the necessary clearance. This would require the services of a qualified gas fitter. Another option would be to use a smaller electrical panel that can be located outside of the 5-foot clearance zone. This may require some creative wiring solutions, but it can be a viable option in some cases. Now, let's consider a situation where the electrical panel is located in a commercial building. In this case, the NEC may have additional requirements for working space around electrical equipment. Article 110.26 of the NEC specifies the minimum working space required around electrical equipment, including panel boards, switchboards, and motor control centers. The working space must be clear and unobstructed, and it must extend at least 36 inches in front of the equipment. In addition to the working space requirements, the NEC also specifies minimum headroom clearances for electrical equipment. The headroom clearance must be at least 6 feet 6 inches, or the height of the equipment, whichever is greater. These clearance requirements are designed to ensure that electricians have enough space to safely work on electrical equipment. Let's discuss the importance of using the right tools and equipment for electrical work. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it's important to use the right tools and equipment to protect yourself from injury. Some essential tools for electrical work include insulated screwdrivers, pliers, and wire strippers. It's also important to use a voltage tester to verify that circuits are de-energized before working on them. When working on electrical equipment, it's important to wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and rubber gloves. Safety glasses will protect your eyes from flying debris, and rubber gloves will protect you from electric shock. It's also important to work in a well-lit area to avoid making mistakes. Let's talk about the importance of continuing education for electricians. The electrical industry is constantly evolving, and it's important for electricians to stay up to date on the latest codes, technologies, and best practices. Continuing education courses can help electricians to maintain their skills and knowledge and to provide the best possible service to their customers. Continuing education courses can cover a wide range of topics, including the NEC wiring methods, overcurrent protection, and energy efficiency. Some states and local jurisdictions require electricians to complete a certain number of continuing education hours each year in order to maintain their licenses. Let's look at some specific examples of code violations related to clearance requirements. One common code violation is installing an electrical panel too close to a gas meter or other gas appliance. Another common code violation is blocking access to electrical equipment with storage or other obstructions. These code violations can create safety hazards and can lead to fines and penalties. It's important to ensure that electrical equipment is installed in accordance with the NEC and local building codes. Let's discuss the importance of communication with customers. When working on electrical projects, it's important to communicate effectively with customers. Explain the scope of the work, the potential risks, and the expected outcomes. Answer any questions that customers may have and address any concerns that they may raise. Good communication can help to build trust and ensure that customers are satisfied with the work. Remember, electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By understanding the NEC, hiring a licensed electrician, and following best practices for electrical safety, you can help to protect yourself, your family, and your community from electrical hazards. Let's explore some advanced topics related to electrical panel relocation. Suppose you are dealing with a multi-tenant building where the existing electrical panel serves multiple units. Relocating the panel might require careful coordination with all tenants to minimize disruption and ensure continuous power supply to essential services. This may involve temporary power solutions and phased relocation plans to avoid prolonged outages. Another complex scenario involves relocating a panel in a historic building. Historic buildings often have unique architectural features and construction methods that can make electrical work challenging. It is crucial to consult with preservation experts and adhere to any specific guidelines or regulations that may apply to the building. This ensures that the relocation is carried out without compromising the building's historical integrity. Let's consider the environmental factors that can affect electrical installations. In coastal areas, for example, salt air can corrode electrical components and wiring. It is essential to use corrosion-resistant materials and apply protective coatings to prevent damage. In areas prone to flooding, electrical panels should be elevated above the expected flood level to prevent water damage and electrical hazards. Another important consideration is the proper labeling of circuits and components within the electrical panel. Clear and accurate labeling is essential for troubleshooting and maintenance. It allows electricians to quickly identify the correct circuits and components without having to trace wires or consult outdated diagrams. Let's delve into the topic of arc flash and its potential dangers. Arc flash is a dangerous electrical explosion that can occur when there is a fault in an electrical system. It can produce intense heat, blinding light, and a pressure wave that can cause serious injuries or death. Electrical panels should be clearly marked with arc flash hazard warnings to alert electricians to the potential dangers. The electrician should wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as arc-rated clothing and face shields, when working on energized electrical equipment. Let's discuss the importance of regular inspections and maintenance of electrical systems. Regular inspections can help to identify potential problems before they become serious hazards. Maintenance tasks such as tightening connections, cleaning components, and testing overcurrent protection devices can help to keep electrical systems operating safely and efficiently. It is recommended to have electrical systems inspected by a qualified electrician at least once a year. Let's examine the topic of energy efficiency and its role in modern electrical installations. Energy-efficient electrical systems can help to reduce energy consumption and lower utility bills. Some energy-efficient measures include using LED lighting, installing occupancy sensors, and optimizing the size of electrical panels and transformers. It is also important to properly insulate electrical wiring to reduce energy loss. Let's consider the impact of renewable energy sources on electrical systems. Solar panels, wind turbines, and other renewable energy sources are becoming increasingly common. These sources can generate electricity that can be used to power homes and businesses. However, it is important to properly integrate renewable energy sources into electrical systems to ensure safety and reliability. This may involve installing specialized equipment, such as inverters and charge controllers, and following specific guidelines for wiring and grounding. Let's explore the role of smart home technology in modern electrical systems. Smart home technology allows homeowners to control various aspects of their homes, such as lighting, temperature, and security, using their smartphones or other devices. This technology can enhance convenience, comfort, and energy efficiency. However, it is important to ensure that smart home devices are properly installed and integrated into electrical systems to avoid electrical hazards. This may involve using licensed electricians who are familiar with smart home technology. Let's discuss the importance of emergency preparedness in the event of a power outage. Power outages can occur due to various reasons, such as storms, equipment failures, and natural disasters. It is important to have a plan in place to deal with power outages. This may involve having a backup generator, flashlights, and a supply of non-perishable food and water. It is also important to know how to safely disconnect electrical appliances and equipment to prevent damage during a power surge. Let's examine the topic of electrical safety in the workplace. Electrical hazards are a leading cause of workplace injuries and fatalities. It is important for employers to provide training to employees on electrical safety practices. This may involve teaching employees how to identify electrical hazards, how to use personal protective equipment, and how to respond to electrical emergencies. It is also important to implement lockout-tagout procedures to prevent accidental energization of electrical equipment during maintenance and repairs. Remember, electrical safety is a continuous process that requires ongoing attention and effort. By staying informed about the latest codes, technologies, and best practices, and by following safe work practices, you can help to prevent electrical accidents and ensure the safety of yourself and others. Let's delve into the details of specific NEC articles relevant to panel relocation. Article 230, Services, covers the requirements for service entrances, which is where the electrical power enters a building. This article specifies the type of wiring, overcurrent protection, and grounding requirements for service entrances. Article 240, Overcurrent protection, covers the requirements for circuit breakers, fuses, and other overcurrent protection devices. This article specifies the sizing and installation requirements for overcurrent protection devices to protect electrical circuits from overload and short-circuit conditions. Article 250, Grounding and Bonding, covers the requirements for grounding and bonding electrical systems. This article specifies the methods for grounding electrical systems to provide a path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to trip the circuit breaker or fuse and de-energize the circuit. It also specifies the methods for bonding metal parts of electrical systems together to equalize voltage and prevent electric shock. Article 310, Conductors for General Wiring, covers the requirements for conductors used in electrical wiring. This article specifies the ampacity, insulation, and other characteristics of conductors. It also specifies the methods for directing conductors when they are installed in close proximity to each other or in hot environments. Article 408, Switchboards, Switchgear, and Panel Boards, covers the requirements for switchboards, switchgear, and panel boards. This article specifies the construction, installation, and wiring requirements for these types of equipment. It also specifies the clearance requirements for working space around electrical equipment. When relocating an electrical panel, it is important to carefully review and comply with all of these relevant NEC articles. It is also important to consult with the local building department to determine if there are any local building codes that apply to the project. Let's explore the use of technology in modern electrical work. Modern electricians use a variety of technology tools to make their work safer, more efficient, and more accurate. These tools include digital multimeters, thermal imagers, and cable testers. Digital multimeters are used to measure voltage, current, and resistance in electrical circuits. Thermal imagers are used to detect hotspots in electrical equipment, which can indicate potential problems. Cable testers are used to verify the integrity of electrical wiring and to identify faults. Electricians also use computer software to design electrical systems, create wiring diagrams, and generate reports. Building Information Modeling, or BIM, is a technology that allows electricians to create 3D models of electrical systems. This can help to improve coordination with other trades and to identify potential conflicts before construction begins. Let's discuss the importance of teamwork and collaboration in electrical projects. Electrical projects often involve multiple trades, such as plumbers, carpenters, and HVAC technicians. It is important for electricians to work effectively with these other trades to ensure that the project is completed safely and efficiently. Communication is essential for successful teamwork and collaboration. Electricians should communicate clearly with other trades about their work and any potential conflicts. They should also be willing to listen to the concerns of other trades and to work together to find solutions. Let's delve into the ethical considerations for electricians. Electricians have a responsibility to provide safe and reliable electrical services to their customers. They should always follow the NEC and local building codes, and they should never compromise safety for the sake of profit. Electricians should also be honest and transparent with their customers about the scope of the work, the potential risks, and the expected outcomes. They should also be fair and reasonable in their pricing. Let's talk about the future of the electrical industry. The electrical industry is constantly evolving, and there are many exciting new technologies and trends on the horizon. One trend is the increasing use of renewable energy sources, such as solar panels and wind turbines. Another trend is the development of smart grids, which are electrical grids that use technology to improve efficiency and reliability. Another trend is the increasing use of electric vehicles, which will require a significant investment in electrical infrastructure. Electricians will play a key role in these developments, and they will need to stay up to date on the latest technologies and trends. And remember, safety is paramount.